Have you ever noticed what happens the moment anxiety appears? For most people, the reaction is immediate. They try to make it stop, they try to calm down, they try to think their way out of it, or they start searching for reassurance. Anything to get rid of the uncomfortable feeling as quickly as possible. And on the surface, that seems reasonable. After all, anxiety feels unpleasant. Why wouldn't you want it to go away? But here's the problem. The moment you start treating anxiety as an emergency, your brain begins to believe it really is one. Think about that. Every time anxiety appears and you immediately try to escape it, suppress it, or fight it, you send a powerful message to your nervous system. You tell your brain, this feeling is dangerous. And your brain listens. Remember what we've discussed in previous videos? Your brain's primary job is protection. It constantly scans your environment for possible threats. Not just physical threats, but emotional ones as well. When you react to anxiety as if it's something dangerous, your brain learns an important lesson. It learns that anxiety itself must be feared. And once that happens, a cycle begins. You feel anxiety, you become alarmed by it. Your brain interprets that alarm as evidence of danger, which creates even more anxiety. Then you react to that anxiety, which creates even more alarm. And the cycle continues. Many people spend years trapped inside this loop without realizing what's actually happening. They believe they're fighting anxiety, but in reality, they're teaching their brain to fear it even more. This cycle often feels automatic. Anxiety appears before you have time to react, and because it feels automatic, many people assume they have no control over it. But that's not entirely true. You may not control the appearance of anxiety, but you can learn to change your response to it. Every response becomes information. Information your brain uses to decide whether a situation is safe or dangerous. This means that every time anxiety appears, you have an opportunity not to eliminate the feeling, not to force it away, but to teach your brain something new. So, what should you do instead? The answer may sound surprisingly simple. When anxiety shows up, the first step is not to fight it. The first step is to notice it, to recognize it, and to remind yourself of something important. This is anxiety, not danger, not catastrophe, not proof that something is wrong, just anxiety. A temporary experience created by a protective brain. And that distinction changes everything. And once that distinction becomes clear, something interesting begins to happen. Your nervous system no longer receives the message that it must sound the alarm louder. Instead of escalating the experience, it gradually begins to settle. This doesn't mean the feeling disappears instantly. That's important. Many people expect instant calm. They assume that if they are responding correctly, the anxiety should vanish right away. But that's not how the nervous system works. Imagine a glass of water that has been shaken. The more you keep shaking it, the longer it remains disturbed. But when you put it down and leave it alone, the water naturally becomes still. Your mind works in much the same way. Anxiety often lasts longer because of reaction to it, not because of the anxiety itself. When you stop arguing with the feeling, stop trying to force it away, and stop treating it as a threat, you create the conditions for it to pass naturally. This doesn't require perfection. It simply requires a different response. Instead of saying, I need this feeling to stop, you begin saying, I can allow this feeling to be here for a moment. That small shift changes everything, because the goal is no longer to win a battle against anxiety. The goal is to stop creating one. But every time you choose awareness instead of resistance, you teach your brain something valuable. You teach it that anxiety is not an emergency. You teach it that discomfort is not danger. And little by little, the old pattern begins to weaken. This is how lasting change usually happens. Not through force, not through control, but through repetition. The brain learns through experience, and every calm response becomes a new experience. Over time, those experiences accumulate. Situations that once triggered fear feel less threatening. Recovery becomes faster, and confidence starts to grow naturally. Not because life becomes perfect, not because uncertainty disappears, but because your relationship with anxiety changes. Many people spend years waiting to feel fearless before they start living fully. But freedom doesn't come from the absence of anxiety. Freedom comes from knowing that anxiety can be present and still not control your choices. And when that realization finally arrives, something powerful happens. You stop organizing your life around fear. You stop giving anxiety the authority to make decisions for you, and that is often where real emotional resilience begins. The less you fear anxiety, the less power it has over you, and the more you learn to trust yourself, even when anxiety shows up.